As Clark County Centennial comes to a close, a number of historic markers were placed in some of the county's most significant rural communities.
Today is really an exciting day.
Commissioner Susan Brager was on hand in Blue Diamond on a gem of a day to help people in that village unveil a permanent reminder of Blue Diamond's past.
There's been a group that has been hard at work preserving the history of the village for many years. It's not something that just came about because of the 100 years. It's something that you really do very diligently. And this community works hours and hours. The volunteers that are here really work hours doing it.
Blue Diamond was a stop for pioneers on the old Spanish Trail in the 19th century, and now a very popular stop for cyclists as they grab a cool drink at the village market and enjoy the beauty and serenity of bucolic Blue Diamond.
Obviously, Clark County Centennial, and we for the past year have been doing ceremonial events all over the valley.
Commission colleague Larry Brown represents the rural areas in District C, including the northwest community of Indian Springs. As home to Creech Air Force Base, Indian Springs is an important cog in today's military, but there are more than 100 years of yesterdays in Indian Springs, and many residents still remember their true pioneering past.
Really, our intent throughout the calendar year of 2009 is to just raise the awareness and bring the historical aspects of Clark County to the residents. And that's what certainly we're here today.
Of course, the Clark County Centennial celebration had many components.
The idea of spending a year and a half just doing history was like almost too good to be true.
Cultural specialist Dorothy Wright and museum guru Mark Hall-Patton were two of the people most responsible for the success of Clark County's 100th birthday.
Well, I learned a lot about the early strip, things that I didn't know, because I had always, like most people probably, that think the first hotels were built in 1941, but there was really a lot of activity out there in the 30s and even the 20s. Some bootleggers and some, things that don't always make it into the standard history book. So that was fun.
Mark Hall-Patton hosted a monthly roundtable discussion on Channel 4, bringing guests together to reminisce about a variety of Clark County subjects, including mining and gaming, the impact of the mob in Clark County. Also, marketing and the contributions of women, African Americans, and the Hispanic community in the development of Clark County.
Well, I think I learned much more about the process by which the county became a county. I hadn't had the time or need to do that research, and starting into that, the whole political process of doing that was fascinating. And the fact that we were able to pull it off in 1909 and become an independent county, the need was there. But you also start recognizing when you look back at your history that there's not a lot different. The political processes are still there. And I think that was really fascinating from my standpoint as an historian.
We're here to conclude our celebration of the Clark County Centennial by burying the contents in a time capsule, those items that are on this table next to me.
As 2009 came to a close, the Board of County Commissioners were on hand to donate items to be buried in a time capsule, the last major event marking Clark County's first 100 years. In addition to an array of county memorabilia, newspaper articles, and Channel 4 videos, each commissioner contributed their own mementos. Former pitcher Larry Brown signed a baseball, while Commissioner Chris G. penned her name on a wooden apple, a nod and a bite to her career as an educator. Steve Sisolak's personalized bottle of vino, and Tom Cullen's belt buckle should give people a chuckle when the time capsule is opened in the year 2109.
I'd like to thank all the people at the county that have been involved in this project. Very, very tough time with our county budget, and to be able to celebrate and promote our centennial in these tough times took a great effort. We were very careful as far as the expenditures, but some of the projects and some of the results have just been overwhelming.
I'm really glad that we're having 100 years of this celebration. I want to thank William Clark, a guy from Montana that run a railroad track through here and helped get it started.
The time capsule is buried here, a few steps outside the south entrance of the Government Center. A true amateur historian, Commission Chair Rory Reed couldn't resist a dig at a former legendary colleague.
So that in another 100 years hence, others can reflect on our thoughts at the time and some things that represented our community well. Some suggested that we should bury Commissioner Bruce Woodbury in the time capsule, but I said that just wouldn't be appropriate.